My name is Daniel Gonzalez, and I'm here to talk about my weird archive project that I have done. This project really went astray of the idea I really wanted to do. Um, I really wanted to focus on a main game, but with this project, it really not tested me, but it really showed me how communities grow from a single idea and it just blossoms into this different idea and like moments in like different fandoms, which is insane to me. Like throughout this video you're gonna see like the twist of the century of where we're going from this, because we're going from one of the most like well-known Japanese horror puzzle games into something completely different. So I hope you're ready. It's gonna be a while. So I lied, it's not gonna be a while, it's gonna be like 20 minutes tops, so you'll be fine. But yes, so AoOni. What is AoOni? It is a 2008 horror puzzle game developed by user No Probs, which is a Japanese game developer. Nowadays, he does develop games, but not as popular as AoOni was back in 2008. Currently, he is on Twitter posting. He's active on Twitter. I was hoping, because I saw that he was very active on Twitter, I was hoping to have an interview with this like creator, obviously this legend, but sadly he never responded to my DMs. So and to be fair, he is in Japan. Well, I'm assuming he's still in Japan, so it's kind of a rough patch when it comes to international meetings like that, typically because we currently right now we are in the United States, so I don't think he would want to bother with this. But nonetheless, he is still active. He does have a website of all the games he has worked on, including AoOni. And so yeah, I think that's a cool little thing. He has sells little games he does. So yeah. But yeah, like I said, he was famous for the horror puzzle genre at the time, and it developed a cult following because of playthroughs and live streams on Japanese YouTube, which is, I think it's called Nico Nico. So if I butchered it, I'm so sorry. But going back to the main concept of the game, it's about 4 friends who enter a home, which is legend to say that once you step in you can never come out, which is true, because in the main game you cannot leave at all. You get separated from your the group, and you're tasked to go find them and find a way out. While doing this, you encounter an entity called Oni, which is a purple creature. It is on the wiki, it is considered a blue creature, but in the game it's purple. I don't know why, but yes, this creature is very special because it has the ability to shapeshift into anything, even the things that it kills or I think eats. There's a lot of shapeshifting going on. So yeah, it is a very intense game. It has adapted into movies, shows, mangas, and novels, which is insane. If you really think about it, like that's a lot of media to consume of this specific game that came out in 2008. And there is another game coming out of AoOni. I forgot what's the name. It's something like AoOni Blue or something. I don't know if I'm being like dumb about it right now, but I'll insert like a screenshot of me showing you the game. It's on Steam. It's coming out this year, but yeah. So if you never heard about this game, trust there is content being made out of this IP, so enjoy while it lasts. I don't know what's gonna happen after this game is done, but yeah. So the question is, how did it spread over here? There's not really a clear answer of how it spread, but my theory is that it spread obviously through 4chan, Tumblr, obviously. There's a lot, and also there's a lot of people in the United States who were very heavily in the internet who did also go to sites like Nico Nico. So there's a possibility that someone stumbled upon it, but it was most likely through someone's live stream or playthrough of it. But many YouTubers such as like PewDiePie, who posted his first video of it in 2011, Markiplier in 2013, and Corey X Kenshin in 2014 were the ones who kind of boosted the trend of playing this game. Nowadays, the game isn't really as it once was. A lot of people don't play it. There's not really a lot of content about it. My main focus here was to talk about, I guess, the community of this and like how has it evolved since 2008. And I think I said this in the video in the beginning. I messaged the creator. Sadly, he didn't reply to me. I'm very hurt that he didn't reply. I have emailed the YouTubers that I listed as well, which I know it's like, why the fuck would Markiplier want to talk on Zoom about a game he posted in like 2013? So yeah, no response from that. I was very hoping that I would get replies from Reddit, because usually Reddit is a very discussive platform, and I got nothing, which I was very taken back. I was very like, oh, like not even one person. But yeah, but luckily I did get a few responses on Steam discussion about people, some better than others, but nonetheless, there's still a community there, and there is still people talking on those forums on Steam. I also posted on 4chan. Side note, my thread got my worm on the string got caught on me. My thread got archived, and I checked the archive and no one responded to it, so I don't think 4chan likes AoOni. And also I checked Tumblr, which I'm surprised nothing popped up on AoOni. But you know, let's take a breather of AoOni, okay? Looking back at all the stuff I found and just sitting down and taking in all the information I found about this game, I questioned myself and said, how do I know AoOni? How do I know this game? Why do I know this game? Well,
it's a crazy story, I'm gonna tell you.
So back in 2020, quarantine, COVID, I was stuck inside all day, and my friends at the time showed me this like game it was a spin-off of AoOni, but I didn't know AoOni at the time, but I knew this game, and it was called AoOni. This game is such a rabbit hole, especially with its story. So AoOni is a spin-off game of AoOni, and it was made with the interest of an anime called Hetalia. And now, if you don't know what Hetalia is, I praise you, because that anime fandom was a lot back in the early 2000s. So Hetalia is one of the most famous like anime in the anime community for having the biggest and the most toxic fandom ever. But the concept of the show is there are countries who are humanized, and they're put in situations that either correlate with history or just wacky adventures that they have. A little history about Hetalia, but yes. But what is AoOni though? What is different about this that AoOni is not the same? AoOni, it's a Japanese RPG format game developed by hopefully I say this right, Tomoyoshi. Tomoyoshi. Obviously, the game that we just talked about, AoOni, and the anime AoOni. what made this game different is that in the original game, the group you're in, they all died. I'm gonna spoil this right now. They all died. Okay. But in this game relies on time travel, which is very like weird. A lot of people don't like this game because of that, because it just takes away the horror aspect of this game. The main character of AoOni is Italy, which he has the ability to time travel. I don't remember how he does it, but I know he does, and he goes back in time, and there's a lot of time-related shenanigans that happen, and a lot of sad parts and endings of it. It's just a lot of timelines.
Editor Daniel here. I'm here to clear things up with this specific part of the video. One thing is that Italy may be the main character, but realistically, every character in the game gets a point to talk. So it's not just Italy that you play. You can play as Japan, China, all the characters from Italia in this game. And also another thing is that AoOni isn't the only game known for its RPG style combat system. This type of gameplay is actually a signature staple in the fandom. The Oni in the game is subbed as Steve or Tony, or even Tony with an I. The reason why the name is referred to those names because he resembles America's friend Tony the alien in the anime Hetalia.
So the reason why I say this game is famous and it's also very weird is because the game was never finished. So yes, the game never had an ending. To this day, the original game still doesn't have an ending, which is sad. Sadly, I couldn't dig deep into the creator of the game. They are not located at any, I guess, American sites such as Twitter, or didn't we have a website. So I don't know what really happened to the original creator, but I hope they're doing well. But yes, sadly the game files were lost and possibly destroyed due to the 2008 earthquake and tsunami in Japan, and it just wasn't worth redoing the whole game all over again, especially the harassment the creator of the game was already facing, most likely due to not having an ending to the game or just harassment of more updates. So the project was terminally cancelled and they have left the fandom since, and to this day I don't know where they are. I hope they're good. I hope you're doing good since then. I just want you to know that you created this weird and also like niche like sub interest of mine of like finding lost stuff, so thank you. Due to the incompletion of this game, the game has had fan creations of the game. Many have tried and some have failed. A lot have failed, which is kind of like people on the internet, especially with this game, call it the AoOni curse, because usually people who start this game never finish it and they just forget about it and the project kind of just goes cold. So yeah, but it's not just a curse. It's also a fact on the internet that fan projects like these don't really work, or they don't really carry on afterwards. So it isn't really a surprise that no one ever finishes game. But yes, and I'm here to talk about 3 famous developers throughout this whole AoOni timeline. First one on the list is AoOni 2012, released by Pianodream and I don't know if I'm saying this right, Neo-Kyno? I don't know, I'm sorry if I butchered your name. But they created a playable English version, and the difference between this one is that they updated visuals, such as using models, MMD models, which for those who aren't familiar, MMD models are usually stand for Miku Dance, which is a program or software from Japan that has the ability for you to create your own models but for more music videos and like dancing. But that was a twist that this person used models that I think they created or they found on the internet, and they put them into this game. So that was why this game was so praised so much, because it was different. It had more visuals to this instead of just text, or just the sprites just sitting there and talking. This game is more remembered for this aspect, which it's the game I was introduced as well. So even though what I'm about to say is like, oh shit, I do love this version of the game. This is the only version I have ever played. I have never played any other because I don't have a PC or Windows laptop. So yeah, but if you do want to play this game, I will, or any of the games listed, I will link them in the description. Hopefully they work. Mind you, some of the links to these games are very old. Like I said, this game was produced in 2012, and so we might have links that don't exist anymore, which is sad, but that's the internet for you. Things don't last forever in the internet, like they always say. But anyways, the full version of the game was released December 8, 2012, and the entire game was translated in English up to where Tomoyoshi left off. Though both of the people working on this project stated that they would not make an ending to this game, they still face harassment, especially Pianodream faced a lot of harassment for not finishing the game. And they ultimately publicly crashed out, and they stated that they'll be leaving the project and fandom altogether. And in 2001, the site that they posted the link for the game that they created was suddenly taken down, and this game was almost lost, if you really think about it, to the sea of pixels on the internet. So it's amazed that their partner Neo, I'm gonna call him Neo and this other user were managed to recover the file and make it publicly to everyone. So that's good. It's saved. The next one on our list is from user TigerGirl77707, who was producing their own game of AoOni back in February 2013. They updated their progress through sites like DeviantArt and Tumblr, and even still to this day, the Tumblr is still up for this game. Sadly, it's not being worked on anymore. So it's more of a relic, that site. But yes, their version, it was different when it came to game wise and visual wise. It looked way better atmospherically than the other ones, in my opinion. 2013, the playable demo for their version of the game was up, and it was posted on their Tumblr website. After that, updates for the game was never received after that. And honestly, the project went cold turkey up until, I believe, 2016, around that time, where they stated that they lost. 2014, I think. Or I'll correct myself if I'm wrong, but they updated on their DeviantArt saying how they lost the hard drive of the game and weren't able to work on it anymore, and suggested ways they should use their time for the game. Either they should continue where they left off, or go back and revamp everything else that they did previously. But yes, but after this, no news, no updates, no posts were made by the user. And sadly, also the demo links I have tried, they're missing, sadly. So realistically, the game is lost, which sucks because the game did look very beautiful. I was very interested in how they composed the game and how they actually made it look very more eerie than before. But sadly, it is lost, and sadly no one will ever be able to play this again. But last user, which is the most famous user from the fandom, is go by CrazyCookie. They go by something else on YouTube. I'll put a screenshot of their username on YouTube. But yes, they're the most famous one on the list because they actually finished the game. I know, it's crazy. I never played this game. I never experienced the ending. I should play it because it's been 5 years and I don't know what's going on, so I should play it. But yes, CrazyCookie announced that they will be making their own version of AoOni with the granted permission of the original creator Tomoyoshi. So it's kind of cool that they got permission to make this game. But like before, like all the others, they use DeviantArt and Tumblr as their homepages to post about game progress, artwork of the game, etc. And actually they announced they were gonna do in August, and they actually finished in December 26, 2016, same year. So it's kind of crazy that they finished so fast in the other ones, but that's just me. Well, technically one wasn't meant to be finished, but yes, anyways. But shortly after the release of the game, they disappeared and left the fandom completely. But they came back around 2017, announcing that they were working on a sequel for the game called AoOni AI. But I think the project has been scrapped. There are videos on it on their YouTube about gameplay of that game, though surprisingly they're working on a remaster version of their AoOni, and they're currently working on it right now. Like right now, they are posting about it on their Tumblr right now, and it's so cool that like that someone's actually still in this weird niche sub sub game. Like it's so weird that like someone is still there after so many years. The game has been played around with, has been brought to life, and it's just a little cute cult like following of this game, and I'm so excited to see this game be finally like revamped, and it's looking very promising. I haven't seen any screenshots of CrazyCookie's original AoOni, though I will insert clips here if I have any, but their new version seems very promising, and I'm very excited to see like what they're doing. But yeah,
Before that video ends, I want to add that I have an interview with a friend of mine who really loves the game AoOni and is here to talk about some of the experiences they have with the game when growing up. And yeah, so Annie, take it away.
Question 1, how did you first discover AoOni? I first discovered this game, I think it was after playing Mad Father, which is another RPG horror game, and Misao, and I feel like a lot of YouTubers at the time were like covering it. I think the first YouTuber I watched play it was PewDiePie. And yeah, I had watched his playthrough on it, and that's pretty much it. That's how I found the game. What age did you start playing it? I think I discovered it pretty young. I couldn't have been more than 13, because I remember being really into those games, like I would say at the end of elementary school, like start of middle school, like around that area, I'd say. But I didn't play it myself. I just watched other people play it. What kind of impact did the game have on you, positive or negative? I'd say it was positive. I wouldn't say there was any negatives, especially because with that stuff, like I was too young to kind of be in like deep within fandom culture. So all my memories of it were good. I literally just had my best friend to talk about it with, but to be honest, it wasn't our favorite game. I felt like not to say like that the story is boring or anything, because it isn't. But I think I appreciate it more now that I'm older. Yeah, just because it's like your basic running from a monster horror game. And like at the time I thought there was like better things, but the game was good, so positive impact, I'd say. In your opinion, has the game aged well over time? I think yes, the game has aged really well over time, especially with how I think obsessed people are with like making their own spin-offs of it, which is always like a good thing to see, because that means like, you know, like I guess intertwining different communities and stuff like that, and it's something that has been able to like flourish in a way, I guess. And there hasn't been any like controversies or anything with it over time, so I'd say yeah, it aged really well. Did playing the game connect you with any kind of community? I wouldn't say AoOni specifically, but yeah, like in other fandom spaces, there like I said, there's always been like different interpretations of it, and like I guess I wouldn't say like it connected me with like gaming communities, but like anime communities definitely, because there was a very popular like game inspired by it called AoOni, like based off of the anime Hetalia, and then later on, based on My Hero, there was another one called AoOni, which I never got to see anyone play myself, because I think after a while the game, from what I heard, it like stopped being produced. But yeah, I think it's something that like will connect you to like multiple kinds of communities. Artistically, did this game inspire you? Yeah, I'd say I'm heavily inspired by this game, especially recently. Yeah, as you know, we have like our own story, I guess, based on AoOni, so it's always fun to add your own characters and add your own spin to worlds like this, especially when it's so easy to write so many different stories based off this one character, because it's very like plain, but not in a bad way, in a way where you can envision yourself in the situation, or you can envision your characters, like characters from different shows. So yeah, also I guess artistically speaking, I love the way the monster looks. I feel like it was one of the first like uncanny valley things I had ever seen, and I'm not good at it, I don't think, at drawing like in that style of like uncanny valley, but it makes me want to try harder to learn how to draw like based in that style. So yeah. This game expose you to other games with the same vibes? I'd say yeah, probably, but only because, like I said in the first question, I think, that I was already into like the games, Mad Father, The Witch's House, Misao, and like I think like since AoOni was like tied to those, it led you to like different games, so not directly I guess, but streamlining down, it got me into the game Mermaid Swamp. I think there was one called Wendigo. Oh, The Crooked Man, definitely. I think I got introduced to that one after AoOni.
But yes, this concludes this long archive of AoOni and how this game sprouted many different fandoms and it sprouted many different ideas. And it just goes to show you that even just one single game that has such very simple mechanics and a simple storyline could just travel into a very complex narrative into a fandom, and it could just change people's lives forever. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you like listening to my voice for 30 minutes. This video really lagged my computer, and I'm so glad to be finished this project. So I hope you enjoy. And yeah, I will see you on the flip side. Ew.